What's going on, guys? Sorry if you checked out the last video. I was having technical difficulties. We are speaking about the Tucker Carlson, Nick Fuentes podcast that has been going viral across the country. The neocons are out in full force trying to say that Tucker is a threat to our democracy, even some threatening, it seems like, his life just for platforming and having open dialogue. They know they cannot trust what these people are saying anymore. So they're trying to shut down and make it so Tucker and Nick Fuentes can't talk because they have such a strong, what do you call it? A lot of people watch them, so they actually are followed and liked and believed when it comes to what they're putting out by a huge basis. That basis used to watch big media. Now those people don't trust these neocons anymore, these Israel shills. And that's just what it comes down to. There is a culture war on the right happening from the neocons, old boomers, to the young, real America First conservatives. Anyways, here in this video, Fuentes talks about the Tucker interview and responds to all the neocons attacking him. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let's get it started, y'all.
Reached out to me. He called me on the phone. And I won't say exactly what happened there. I don't want to betray his confidence, but he called me on the phone and we had an amicable conversation. We sort of leveled with each other. And I would say it was cordial, friendly, and civil. And so we talked things out a little bit on the phone. And then his team reached out about a month ago and they said they wanted to bring me on the show. And I went into it really without any real expectation. I had no idea what I was in for. They invited me out at the end of September, beginning of October, to come and do the show. And of course I said yes. And I'm interested in having the conversation because I challenged him in my show about him. I said, well, why don't you just talk to me yourself? If I'm an unknown quantity, if you don't know what I am or what I believe or whether I'm sincere and why I'm launching these attacks, ask me. You're a journalist. Ask me the question. I'd be happy to answer. And I said, I'm not an animal. I don't think I'm a brute. I'm a civil and polite person. I said, and we can make it civil. I said, but give me a fair hearing. Let me tell you in my own words who I am, where I...
Let me know what you guys think, but I thought that was one of the greatest sit-down talks I've ever seen. They were able to talk about everything, disagree and agree on some, and it was a great chat. And it's just crazy when you see these $7,000 a month payment people that are from Israel pushing this as hateful rhetoric or like the end of the Republican Party. I saw nothing wrong at all with the conversations that they had. And I mean, you have Mark Levin, Neocon King himself, out like just derailing and defaming this guy and just saying a bunch of stuff that's not true. Mark Levin is the perfect example of a neocon right there, losing all credibility. And the fact that Fox thinks it's a bright idea to keep someone like that on live television tells you exactly big media has no clue what the culture supports in today's society.
Came from what I'm about. And I think to his credit, and I think everybody on our side, whatever you think of Tucker, and I know a lot of my fans love Tucker, and some of them are very suspicious of Tucker. And I have similarly ambivalent feelings, or I did, let's say. I love a lot of what he's saying and doing, but I'm also wondering, what's this guy's problem with me? And so I'm sure he was curious, and I was curious too. I wanted to meet him and get the measure of the man, and I wanted to hear from him himself. And I'm a man. I wanted to stand up to the questions. So, of course, I leaped at the opportunity. And I said, absolutely, I'd love to do it. And as soon as I could, I flew out, and I had dinner with him on Sunday night. And like I said, I walked in really not knowing what to expect. I'm going to be honest with you, because I'm always honest, sometimes to my detriment. I did believe Tucker was in the CIA. And so part of me was thinking, because they booked my travel, I was thinking, did they put a bomb on the plane to like kill me? Because they like booked my plane ticket. I was thinking, kind of a huge risk. Because look, if I'm sincerely saying that he's an operative, well, so I swear I really went in not knowing what to expect at all. I was thinking, is this plane going to blow up when it takes off? I was thinking, when the driver comes and picks me up, is he going to take me out in the woods and blow my head off? I was also thinking, what if it's a complete ambush? What if he punches me in the face for talking about his family? What if it's a totally hostile line of questioning? What if they pass a bunch of deep fake photos across the table and say, we got you? I was thinking, I sincerely had no idea what to expect. And I know that sounds like a joke, but I'm a paranoid person. And honestly, that was in the back of my mind. But I'm brave. I'm a heroic and courageous person. So I said, well, I'll tell people where I'm going. And I said, if anything happens to me, you tell them what happened here. And that's true. But so I got on the plane, I flew out, and the plane did not explode. Nobody killed me. Obviously, I'm still here. And I went up to his place, and we had dinner on Sunday night. And it was very intimate. It was me, him, his producer, and that was it. At the table where we did the interview, and it was extremely friendly. It was extremely nice. But I wouldn't say, as other people are characterizing it, I wouldn't say that he didn't challenge me. He probed me. By probed, I mean he asked me a lot of intense questions. He really spent hours on Sunday night getting to know me. And I spent a lot of time getting to know him.
See, I respect that, because you're doing an interview to get to know someone who has been very misconstrued about everything, his points, and how he is as a person. So at least Tucker took the time to invite him to his place with his producer, talk about everything, life, his origins, what the Republican Party did to shut him down, his backstory. I thought it was his best interview yet. I would say second closest favorite of Nick Fuentes is definitely got to be Bradley Martin. If you haven't looked at that one, I would suggest look that one up.
And he asked me about everything. He asked me about what I believe on many different subjects, about things he's heard about me. And I think both of us were maybe measuring the other and sizing the other one up and trying to figure each other out. But it was honest. It was direct. It was straightforward. It was challenging. It was fair. But I think we had a really good, interesting conversation Sunday night. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. And then I went back to my hotel and I went back out Monday morning to do the show. And with full disclosure, there was nothing like an ambush at all.
That's what I like to hear. Tucker's a respectable, good guy. And, I didn't like how he approached or attacked Nick Fuentes before with Candace, but I think he's redeemed himself a lot lately. And, Candace as well, especially in regards to Charlie Kirk, and that's something I don't agree with when it comes to Nick Fuentes' take on Charlie Kirk. I think Candace Owens is being a great friend by asking questions, calling these narratives out, even if it's the Trump administration. But now the best video for last, 15 minutes on Josh Hammer, was too good to chop up. Nick Fuentes cooked. Let's see Nick Fuentes do his cooking.
And you're not American, maybe most importantly, because you will never put America first. As long as you are loyal to Israel in any way, as long as you are advocating for America to give its money to Israel, to send its people to die for Israel, you are not loyal to America. You can never say America first. You will never be America first, and you will never be an American. So if you believe that Israel is the foundation of Western civilization, if you believe the Hebrew Bible matters so much, if you have such a problem with Americans like me and Tucker Carlson, then why don't you go to Israel? Please do us all.
I've been saying this. You are for Israel first. Go to Israel. I mean, if you can't have open dialogue discussions with patriots who love America and put the interests of America first over Israel, then go. We don't want you here. Josh Hammer, whatever his name is, all these Israel shells, Ben Shapiro, you guys are clowns. And the Americans are sick of it like ever before. If you're running with AIPAC money moving forward, you are not going to be elected. Any country owned by, you are not going to be elected. We are America only.
A big favor. Take your genius, take your smarts, you guys are so fucking brilliant. Never miss an opportunity to remind everybody how great you are, how brilliant you are, how awesome you are. We owe you everything. It'll be our loss. Why don't you and Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and Laura Loomer, you unlikable, despicable pieces of shit, why don't you get the fuck out of America and go to Israel, which we all know you love so much? Do us all a favor. Otherwise, you better get on board. Because whether you like it or not, this country is done. We're done.
We are done with people like that. Laura Loomer, Mark Levin, Lindsey Graham, these neocons who are for all these other countries first and wasting our taxes for these other countries. I'm telling you, we are pissed. You don't want Americans united plus pissed at the same time. That's just what I think, because they're not going to forget this shit you guys are doing. Regardless if it's Trump administration who I voted for, I'm not satisfied with how they've been carrying out Israel's benefit in regards to every situation. And not just that, we're sending billions to other countries while we have homeless Americans. Do you realize that China is a communist country? But have you ever seen how it looks recently? It looks like something out of the Matrix. Like, they're so much more advanced than us. And we are supposed to be the richest, most, police country in the world that is in charge of everything. But China is kicking our ass. That's a way to think of it. That's all I'm saying.
With the Jewish oligarchy, we are done with the slavish surrender to Israel, the wars, the foreign aid, the policing of anti-Semitism, the Holocaust, religion, and propaganda. You know it. I know it. The young people in this country, the next generation, God bless them, on the left and the right, they know that you are full of shit. They're finished with the lies, with the humiliation rituals, insulting our intelligence, the derision and the contempt that you hold us in. Everyone knows it. And you know as well as anybody that in 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, there's only going to be more Nick Fuenteses. There's only going to be more Groypers. Your Vice President, J.D. Vance, even he knows he has to pander to us. Even he at Turning Point USA had to pander to us and answer questions about Palantir and Miriam Adelson and whether Trump obeys Israel, because that's the way this country is going. So, Josh Hammer.
Speaking on that, if you guys didn't see, watch the Vance going to Turning Point USA. I believe it was 2 days ago. And yes, his main focus, it seemed like, was questions about Israel. And that was coming from college kids, young men. They are awake, not woke. They are awake like never before. And in regards to Israel, we are damn right we are awake. We should be. They are screwing our country over and putting us in danger and making America look weak on the world stage right now. And this is a country that is the size of New Jersey. Like, it's just a joke that they hold all the political power over our politicians.
Mark Levin, Ben Shapiro, Loomer, you better get the fuck on board with America and Americans and our new vision, which is America first. And if you don't like it, leave. If you don't like it, you can go home. Fortunately, you have spent decades murdering and killing and massacring and raping to make an oasis for yourself in the desert. You can go there. But what I like about my interview with Tucker Carlson is this proves we don't actually need their permission. They can squeal and they can scream like they are. Hammer and Clavin, all of these, they are despicable. The way they sound. You hear Mark Levin? He can barely contain himself. He's shaking with anger. Nick Fuentes, he's like Adolf Hitler. These are the most unlikable people that you can imagine. On a personal level, they're just despicable. And what Tucker demonstrated on Monday is that you don't need to listen to these people. Tune them out, turn them off, take the volume dial and turn it all the way down. We're not listening anymore. We don't care. Your book about Western civilization and Israel, we don't care. We're not reading it. You're bitching, you're whining, you're squealing about anti-Semitism. Nobody's listening anymore. Nobody cares.
Great point about how no one's listening. Also, I would suggest, if you guys haven't seen, go on X and look up what Mark Levin put out the other day about this sit down with Nick Fuentes and Tucker Carlson. It is an embarrassment. The fact that he has a job on Fox News called the Great One. It's just laughable. He gets so triggered, like your typical liberal Karen, on the fact that he just had Nick Fuentes on Tucker Carlson's show. Go listen to it after this. It is hilarious.
Nobody's watching. We've tuned you out. We know what you are. You don't care about us. You don't care about this country. You don't respect this place. You don't respect our ancestors, and you don't even worship our God. So why would we listen to you for one more second? We don't need your permission to have these conversations. We don't need your permission to talk to each other. We don't need your permission to put America first. And they're worried because they know that when people hear this message, they're going to like it. That's why they're squealing. That's why they're talking about no platforming and gatekeeping and censorship. It's not because the message is so horrible and hateful. It's because they know the message is so powerful and compelling. Everyone is going to believe it. Everyone is going to go along with it because it's the truth, because it's reality. And everyone knows that. So I saw this article. He says, Tucker and Nick Fuentes should be neutralized. Bring it on. Who's going to do it? You? Bring it on. You want to neutralize me? You know where to find me, Josh. Why don't you do it yourself? They say neutralize us. Well, you know, they could neutralize us. I'm sure they could. I'm sure they got bombs inside the pagers. I'm sure they'd have a big laugh about that. Take out one Nick Fuentes, watch 1,000 more take my place, and they'll be 100 times more radical. Go ahead. It won't go the way you think. He says he wants to neutralize Tucker and Nick Fuentes. And of course, if I talked so recklessly about any of them, could you imagine the blowback? Could you imagine, God forbid, if I went on my show and said, Mark Levin needs to be neutralized? Could you imagine? I would be hunted by the FBI. And rightfully so. Think about the climate we're in. Think about the climate of political violence. Think about the climate, how intense and polarized and angry, how much tension there is in society. Rightfully so. If Zohran Mamdani, if AOC, if me, if Hassan Piker, if Tucker said Mark Levin, Josh Hammer got to be neutralized, could you imagine? The FBI would be knocking on our door in 30 seconds. But they get away with that like they get away with everything because there's no rules for them. The way they lie, like he did throughout this article, the way they defame, they're calling us Nazis. He's like Adolf, he's a Jew hater. The way they call for censorship, the way they call for violence, the way they gloat about death and destruction, nobody else would get away with this. How is it possible? Levin still has an audience with Donald Trump. And Josh Hammer is still on a syndicated radio show. It's time for these people to be canceled. And by that, I mean, when is the pressure going to come for Salem Radio? Cancel your Salem Radio subscriptions. There needs to be a public pressure campaign. You can't go around saying we're neutralizing people and keep your book deal, keep your radio show. It's time for cancel culture to go in the other direction and for people to say, you know what? We're done with this shit. We're not putting up with that. You want to have a difference of opinion? That's fine. Honest to God. If you want to go out there and say, I support Israel, that's your God-given right, just like it's mine to say we shouldn't support Israel. But these people have pushed it to the limit with the lies, the bullying, the intimidation, the threats of violence. It's not acceptable. Nobody needs that in this country. Americans are not going to be bullied by these whiny, high-pitched voice fucking nebbishes. We're not going to be bullied by them. You think I'm intimidated by that? Mark Levin, you think I'm intimidated by you? I'm Italian. We're not intimidated by you. I'm American. We're not intimidated by that. He gets on his show. He gets on the microphone. Big tough guy behind the microphone. You're an old man. We are done being bullied. We don't give a fuck anymore. That's what we all have. Whatever the differences, whatever different backgrounds we come from, Whether it's Tucker Carlson, Kanye West, Donald Trump, Charlie Kirk, Candace Owens, Alex Jones, Nick Fuentes, we're just done being bullied. You will not bully us anymore. Do we look afraid? Do we look intimidated? We will not be bullied anymore by these people. It's enough, and nobody has the balls to just say it that way. It is enough out of you. We are all sick of it. And I've seen nothing but that on my timeline for the past 48 hours. All of them. So bold. So audacious. That's the only language they speak. Clavin, Hammer, Levin, Joe Lonsdale, Sean McGuire, Loomer, Shapiro. I mean, every single one of them. Josh Hammer. That's the only language they know, is to get on their show, beat their chest. He's a Nazi. He's a Jew hater. I can't believe this is happening. Well, believe it. You don't run this anymore. You are not in control anymore. It's over. It's been over. It's just a matter of time for things to see themselves through. So you can bitch and moan. Your reign is over, and you know that. So anyway, that's the Josh Hammer situation. I can't tell you how infuriating that is, because fundamentally, it's just so maliciously dishonest. It is so everything they say.
They come across as liberals, like literally lying, almost like acting like he's like inciting violence or talking about doing something crazy. All he's talking about is his upbringing and how the GOP and the Democrat Party are owned. Both parties are owned, and we need to create an America-only party. We need to focus on America's issues only, and how Israel has the most control over our politicians. That's just a fact. They don't have to register under FARA. And we have a bunch of people in this country pushing Israel propaganda at all-time highs right now that are getting paid from our taxes from the Israel government. That's facts. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be doing another live later on today. Very exciting stuff. People are waking up in the masses, and I'm here for it. I love what Nick Fuentes is doing. I love what Candace and Tucker Carlson are doing. That is the America-only party, which is really America first, which is what Trump ran on, which he sadly isn't showing. That's just my opinion, though. Let me know what you guys think. See you on the next video. Peace.